afternoon, dear listeners, viewers of Amam Radio, Amam Facebook page, Amam social media accounts. Today, we are here in Valletta with Lorraine and Thomas, as usual, to discuss a hot topic which is happening at the moment in Africa, the African Cup of Nations, AFCON 2021. So much is going on, and we just decided to, also add our voice to what is going on. Thomas, Lorraine, just tell us what's going on.
Here is what the Frenchman said, autocritique. We're trying to talk about the things that have been happening as the match is going on, and the planification of the match, and so we're having some time and talking about the difficulties and the smoothness of the match.
Yeah. The fact that Cameroon, who is the host country, lost in semi-final against Egypt.
Well, I mean, it's not because you're a host country that you're expected to win. Let's face it, to Cameroon's defense, Egypt also was a former winner of the AFCON. Yes. So it was like two winning AFCON winners playing against each other. So from the beginning, everybody knew that this would have been a kind of a hot game,
A final before the
it
final.
Was exactly,
yes.
Indeed, that's what happened, because I think up till the end of the game, the score was 0-0.
Absolutely, absolutely,
like no one wanted to lose this game apparently.
But when we go look at the qualities of the team, both teams they were all quality teams, and they are all champions of the Nation Cups, and I think Egypt is having the upper hands even more than Cameroon. So Egypt winning that match wasn't something doubtful. It's something that we already know it could happen. It's a game.
Yeah.
We doesn't know the winner, except it has been projected at the end of the match.
Yeah, but Cameroon is the organizer, so the hope was that they will win at home, especially because I watched the match. To be honest, the first half part of the match, the first 25 minutes were so powerful. Cameroon missed so many opportunities there. So maybe that's where they sinned.
I could be wrong, but I really think, everyone or most people have this flawed idea of thinking that a country, the hosting country, is automatically like the winner, or maybe the dice are not kind of like there is a bit of cheating or advantages or whatsoever, which is not the case. I mean, now the game, the semi-final, Cameroon versus Egypt, has proven us wrong. It's not because you're the host country that you have a certain advantage, or no, it's a game is unpredictable.
Actually, about teaching, because you mentioned something, Lauren, there's a lot of controversy that went on because Cameroon was meant to play. Let's go back go a little bit back before the semi-final. Cameroon was meant to play against Comoros, and all the team were tested positive on COVID. And so many players, the rumors went that Cameroon tried to cheat, but it was proven wrong.
That should be a fallacy, because this football, this AFCON Cameroon is just the host, but it's not the organizer. The organizer is the CAF, is the FECAFO. So they have their doctors. That's what we should know. If it was Cameroonians, the Cameroons that provide these doctors, we could say something fishy happens. But it is the CAF that has these doctors to do the test. And why should Cameroon be blamed about an outcome of something that doesn't concern them?
The problem
it wouldn't even make sense, because if people are saying it's because it's Cameroon's fault and whatsoever, then why? My question would be, why were there no Cameroonian player testing positive?
Yes, the thing is that Cameroonian player, no Cameroonian player, don't quote me on that, was tested positive. But the fact that almost the entire team of the opponents of the following match was tested positive was a kind of suspicious. And the problem that
they were playing together. They are training and playing together they are from the same team, so they train and they spend a lot of time together. So it makes sense
It made sense.
That there is at least a high percentage of positive cases.
Definitely. The problem, in my opinion, was the lack of communication. You know, that they didn't go ahead immediately, at least the organizers of the CAF, to tell the people what is happening, who is doing the test. They waited for the rumors to be spread. That when they just jumped, you know, like informing people afterwards. For something like that, you have to plan ahead, because you know how people think. It is so sensitive, football in Africa.
Yes, it was. It was also so people could judge it in that way, because the people that were tested, the players that were tested positive, they were the key players of the Comoros. So it was, again, it was something very skeptical. At least people need to talk. There are a lot of criticism, which each and every individual has his own right for your opinion. So, and you have to criticize. I believe the criticism did a lot of good, because there were some measures now have to be taken to, at least people have to control themselves, and maybe that mixed up with the supporters after match, all those things. At least we've seen, like we see the last match at Senegal and I think Burkina Faso.
Yes.
We saw the collective effort put in place. We saw also Cameroon, Egypt. We also saw the collective effort. There was no player in the both side that have the COVID. So I think after that there was some correction, and
yes.
But I mean, just to bounce back on what you said, it's like, I mean, the fact that it's true, communication could have been better.
Yes.
But nothing tells us that this wasn't coming from a leak as well.
A
leak.
Yes, a leak, like something that is planned to just.
I mean, maybe the CAF was planning to make an official press release, you know, but then somebody just kind of, you know.
Yes, it could
I mean,
be,
it happens in developed countries, let alone in less developed countries.
Yes,
You know,
it could be true,
so
because I will quote my president, who usually say, "Impossible n'est pas camerounais." So it's just like nothing is impossible with Cameroonians. So it could still be something.
I mean, things happen. You know, this is a very much fought tournament. Everybody wants to win. You know, we have how many countries there? Everybody hoped to take back something home. But then during the tournament, again, something bad happened. You know, we cannot just talk about it without forgetting that 8 people lost their lives. So this is another aspect that was also unfortunate, that was brought into the tournament. The organization was criticized a lot against. That's where we discovered that only one way were going into the stadium, and that the doors were not opening at the time they needed to open. It is a pity, and we are so sorry for the families who lost the loved one. And another things very also strange is happened, you know, a fight against Cameroon and Ivory Coast, as if there was this tournament and then there's another side tournament. Two countries that have, you know. So let me say, Thomas, then I give you the microphone. Eto, the president of the FECAFOOT, the Federation of Cameroon, the Cameroonian Federation of Football, he's married to a woman from Ivory Coast. One of the most famous artists in Cameroon, tenor. He's just proposed to an Ivorian, very also famous artist. So, and then we saw on the social media this hatred that was even dangerous, in my opinion. What happened?
I don't see it as a hatred. It wasn't hatred. It was you're trying to express you're angry and you are expressing your anger. It wasn't hatred, you know, like you have, let's say, they are in-laws, and we got married to them, and we believe in every case, like we have been doing, because it's been working side by side. Yeah. In every case, Ivorians have been supporting Cameroon when it comes to football and any aspect, social media, and vice versa. So yes, you know, there's always something, and this thing it's sparked out from the bloggers. You know, these bloggers, they are content creators. They create something for their platform to have something to this. You know, when these content creators, when they create this content, when people see them on the media and they jump into it, people start to, because this. Everybody, the players, the Cameroons, they have their fan base, and the Ivorians, they have their fan base.
Yeah.
And when this thing come out, they don't need to know how it came about. The fans are there to defend themselves, and the other camp, they are there to defend themselves. So it was like a fight between a husband and a wife. And
well, it went further than that, because politicians have to step in to say, guys, stop it, because it's going bad, really.
yes.
Well, you can't really say anything about that, because usually they don't step in a lot more of things. It's like, unfortunately, I mean, so I'm very sorry.
It was a fight. It was a fight inside the house, and it was at the other place. At the other hand, it was like shameful, like saying we are like a husband and wife, and we are disgracing ourselves in the public. It should not be like this. If we have some infighting, we should try to settle it behind doors. We should not come out and express our stupidity. So that's why you see there was a lot of controversy about the issue. But that notwithstanding, same way, I think it was a husband and wife issue, and the wife did something bad, and you flogged the wife, and
you flogged the wife.
Yes, it came into a family meeting, and we arranged it, and we were now fine, I think.
So basically, what you're saying is that this was a proposal that went wrong,
well, and then you flogged the wife. Can you hear that? So
what is flogging?
Flogging, it is beating. That's flogging is beating.
Goodness.
So
I am sorry. I never think about these kind of things, basically, so it's always a shock for me when I
yes, when I talk about flogging, it's figurative. It's a speech. And flogging might be in many types. Flogging doesn't mean I may beat you physically. Yeah, there's what we call public flogging, that like we say, it is we have to correct you. Public correction is more important than like should support you in behind.
So it went very bad, because the public flogging went bad in actually at least 2 examples that I can give here, if we don't want to develop on that. But
we're talking about a proposal that went a bit south.
No, we are already married. Ivory Coast and Cameroon, they are already married. There's no longer we are not longer on the proposal act.
They are acting as an old couple, actually.
This is an old couple that hate each other. I don't know, because what's happened is that the Cameroonians, a lot of them learned how to sing the Egyptian anthem. So I know about Biladi, and I didn't heard that for the first time. And then we saw video of Ivorians burning the flag, the Cameroonian flag. It went that bad. It should be illegal.
No, and burning a flag of a country is illegal.
They did that, and they did that the other way around as well. Cameroonians burning the Ivorian flag. That's what I'm saying.
But that was in Cameroon. Yes. That was in Cameroon. I mean, burning a Cameroonian flag in Cameroon has a much more important impact, because that's an illegal act inside Cameroon. Now, if you're burning an Ivorian flag in Cameroon, I'm not saying it's right, but I need to see if it's legally binding.
Let's see. We have videos. The video of the flag being burned, the Cameroonian flag being burned. I'm not sure if it was in Ivory Coast or in Cameroon, but definitely an Ivorian man was burning the Cameroonian flag on video. It is on the social media. Apart from that, we also saw a group of Cameroonian supporters booing a lot of Ivorian supporters getting out from the march against Egypt, like putting the Egyptian flag over their head, just disrespecting them in such a bad way, at the point that one of the supporters started crying. So I mean, it was really nasty. Let's say.
Yes, it was nasty. But again, when something happened, it said when you fall, you don't look at where you fall. You look at where you hit. What makes you fall? Where you hit your leg. So let's go back to the root cause. How does it start? Who started this fight? How the dispute come about? The dispute is coming from Ivory Coast.
Let me interrupt you. I would like to remind to our viewers and listeners that Thomas is Cameroonian, so obviously he has a side taken about it. So, okay, and we have a very nice lady here in the room, the camera lady. She's from Côte d'Ivoire, so this is even an interesting fact.
Yes, I may say it,
so
but
now that this is established, now you may continue speaking.
Yes, no, you at least all of you in the room should know me. I'm somebody I don't take side because I have my own political issues with my country, which I disagree with them in I can say 95% on the things they are doing.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
But it's fair to mention that that you're Cameroonian.
Yes. I'm a Cameroonian and by birth, and so it comes from the Ivorian side.
Okay.
So Cameroonians were retaliating that if somebody have to talk to us, it shouldn't be you. You are our wife. We are together. Why should it come from you? We should expect this from another person, not you.
So it was a disappointment.
So it was a disappointment. They were expressing their grievances. That why should you be the one to attack us?
Wow. Yeah, it was very bad.
So it's like a marital fight or
Yes, a
something like
marital
that.
fight.
Yes, you get angry. Okay, let's say let's say in a family, you are in a public. Let's say you are in a public,
Yeah.
and the person that attacks you in the public is your brother, or your friend that attacks you in the public, that exposes you in the public is your friend or your brother. It kills more than so it was. That is why
It
you
makes
see.
sense. It makes
Yes.
sense, because anyway, yeah, we have that relationship with Ivory Coast. At least we can all say personal stories. I remember myself,
Obviously.
my destination, if I had to travel in Africa, would be first Abidjan, because we used to call it Petit Paris. That's where we
Yes,
wanted all
yes.
to go, really, visit Abidjan. So yeah, I mean, I hope things will get
No,
back.
I mean, this long-lasting rivalry between Cameroon and it, as I said, it's like a love-hate relationship. Like
Yes.
we're competitors, so it's like we love each other. We kind of shout at each other sometimes.
Yeah.
We are big competitors, So, but the love is there actually, to the point that I have seen on social media when let's say another country, a third part country in Africa would kind of start taunting, let's say, Cameroon. Ivory Coast would come and defend Cameroon even better than the Cameroonians themselves, and vice versa. When a third country would come and attack Ivory Coast, Cameroon would come and defend Ivory Coast. But when Cameroon are kind of taunting Ivory Coast and, taunting each other, it's like all the other African countries, they are quiet because
Yes,
they know
they
that
watch.
if they put their nose over there,
Don't put-
because they know that if they put their nose in this kind of fight or whatsoever, then Cameroon and Cote d'Ivoire would side together just to go against some country. So it's kind of, it's like in French we say chasse gardée. It's like,
It's what Thomas was saying, that it is a couple, a marital. It was a marital.
like
but
I
okay.
would not let anybody mess with you.
Yes.
I am the only one authorized to mess with you, and you are the only one authorized to mess. But if
That's
somebody
good.
from the outside come
That's
and mess
good.
with, we are allies. It's like,
Let's
it's
keep
kind
it
of
that
cute.
way, really. Let's keep it that way. Yeah, let's keep it that way. And then, unfortunately, Cameroon lost in semi-finals against Egypt.
Yes, obviously we lost the match. We had the quality teams, but the players were not in team spirit, because team spirit, it means we have to work as a team. You don't a defender can score a goal. It doesn't mean because you are an attacker. It means that you have to be the one to score the goal. It can come. All we need is victory. So why we lost the match because it was the players, the attackers, they were all selfish.
That's what Vincent Boubacar said. Then you agree?
Yes,
with him?
I agree with Vincent Abubakar, but he himself is the most selfish person. He himself, in most of all of them, all the match, he's been selfish. There are many times he could give a pass even to Toko Ekambi. He could not give because they are now competing with who will top the league with the goal. So
But
it makes it very difficult
my
for us to
question
defeat
is,
our opponent.
did he say that after the match? Because I know
Immediately after the match.
before the game he did a speech that I didn't see because I was busy probably
Yes,
doing something.
That
but-
speech it's very 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 disrespectful to it's your opponent, but somebody like Mohamed Salah, that is it's a well-known player. This is the thing, you see. You start a career and your career is diminished because you start disrespecting people. When you start disrespecting people physically with your speech, you are attacking them. You attack.
What did he say? What did you?
He said he doesn't see Mohamed Salah, his playing tactics or his personality doesn't impress him. He doesn't see him as so. when you start to put that kind of image, like, yeah, you are a good player, you did good moves, you are, which people are they are appreciating you. Don't take it to that extent of insulting your fellow player, somebody who is doing more better than you.
I would even say it's like you don't need to get it out there. Don't expose your dirty laundry for the entire world to see. It's like you're the same. You're part of the same team.
Yeah.
So your dirty laundry should be kept private. Whatever you need to be settled in private, settle it in private. But publicly, you have to be hand in hand. Together. Actually, it's like it's us against them. And that's it.
It's not the only statement he made. He made a statement. I think that was a match with after the match between Cameroon and Comoros. So there was an interview, and he made a statement. They interviewed him, and he was, I think, the journalist. There was one journalist in French, and the other was in English, and he was interviewed in English, and he boldly talked in the mic that English is not his language. And is that not stupidity? You are in a bilingual country, and you said this is not your language.
I mean, again, we also have, let's not forget the level of education of some players. Yes.
I'm just trying to bring in his character, his personality.
It is also about maybe the level of education. Let's not forget that many footballers, unlikely in the US, for example, where you have to reach a certain level of education to be able to play in the national team. In Cameroon, there are guys who just learn how to play football when they were young. They never received a proper education. So we should also acknowledge that, I think.
Is it character? Is it something that is supposed to be taught in school?
Even the way you speak, because speaking in communication, it is a skill. If you are not taught how to communicate, you make those mistakes. Again, can I defend a little bit Vincent Aboubakar? Because when he say I'm not impressed, my opinion is that saying that I'm not impressed by someone, it can mean that, I don't see him like, I don't seem superior than me. We play the same level, it doesn't impress me. I'm not afraid of him. I will play him like, as equal. That's how I see it. And that's what I'm saying, that maybe we have to take into consideration here the level of education of Vincent Aboubakar.
I may not use the right direct speech from Aboubakar, because if you go to the direct speech of Aboubakar, it irritates everybody who read that statement. It was there, and everybody was like, "What kind of statement in this in the public, belittling somebody?" Because the thing is, in reality, yes, they are performing in the AFCON because the Salah is from Africa. Had it been, it was something, let's say it was a European Cup, because when it comes to internationally, he's not even half of the journey of Salah.
That's why he disagrees. That's why he disagrees. Now you don't see what Vincent Aboubakar is trying to say.
The thing is, when you go to interviews, because this thing, I have never seen a player belittling another player. They always like, yeah, he's a good player, but we are in a speech, and we're going to perform our best, and we see. You see, when you insult somebody openly like that, what are you making? What
So can we plead that Vincent Aboubakar learn how to play football in the sands in Garwa or Marwa, wherever he comes from? That I don't know until what level he went to school, and that he's never been seated and taught how to deliver a press conference, how to answer to an interview. It matters.
I think it's even deeper than that. Because in my opinion, I could be wrong, so I stand to be corrected. You are the football pros, I don't watch games and stuff like that. But I think what I feel like, it's like, so you have the team, okay, the international team or the national team or however you call it. And so they would perform on behalf of an entire country, okay? But within that team, there is still a spirit of competition.
Oh,
yes.
It should be.
So should it really be that way or not? I'd rather go for something more like, I know your strength, I know your weaknesses, let's work with them. Where are you best? Where would you best benefit for the team, not individually? Especially when you're playing on behalf of an entire state.
That's the job of a coach. That's what the coach should be teaching to his players.
But the point is, my point here is, if this was done properly, he would have kept, in my opinion, a team spirit, not needing to use certain words that might be interpreted of, the intent of belittling his team.
Yes.
Why? Because they are already in competition with each other from the very base, when they should be playing together.
Yes, and he was. That's it. Everyone who knows, who have been watching the matches, will know that the statement was going for a particular person, and that was Toko Ekambi. And like I see Toko Ekambi more matured from his response to what Abubakar Vincent said. He said he's entitled to his own opinion. He's saying what he thinks, and he cannot judge him for that.
Yeah.
And that was end of quote. That's where he ended the statement. That you are entitled. He's saying what he thinks and what he feels, and that's his own opinion. I cannot judge him for that.
I listened to Vincent Abubakar because it was immediately in TV, and he said that that's where when everybody wants to shine and it pays immediately, and
Obviously.
to be honest with you, I don't disagree with Vincent Abubakar, because I took that quote out from the context of football, and I put it in the larger scale about the problems that are happening in Africa, or in Cameroon in particular. We are being taught to hide the problems. That you are being a woman who is beaten at home. She's afraid of speaking up because we must keep our things here, but she's the one suffering. Vincent Abubakar, she put out there a problem that it's inside the team, and the fact that he said that, in my opinion, it should be actually applauded. That means that we have to speak up about the problems that are happening in this team.
Yes.
We cannot hide problem. The guy was not happy.
But is that not a fallacy?
Yes, for me, it was okay to say it.
Raising a problem which you are the cause of that problem. Because if you start from the first match, and Abubakar was a problem. And that is where because Toko Ekambi took up the lead from him. Because from the first match, I cannot, how many passes he was supposed to give to, I think about 4 passes. Toko Ekambi was there, he couldn't give the ball, and he lost those balls because he was selfish to give the ball to Toko Ekambi. That's why now they have to play the risk at the center where they have to score, but nobody have to give the pass.
Yeah, okay. This is very technical.
So he raised a point where he is the masterminder of that
This is your opinion here, because if you listen to other person, probably will be different.
But my question would be, I mean, however the interview went, you might be right in saying he exposed a situation.
Yes.
But my question would be, how did he expose it? Is it the right way of exposing it for the public opinion?
For me, yes. Because,
But the public does not necessarily know all the facts.
That is where now you have to sit and talk about the facts, that for me, he just put that bomb here.
But we don't know why exactly he said that. I mean, we might think it's because of the last game or because of the first game, but we don't know why exactly.
That is why I'm telling you there is in the you see, even in Africa, when you have a disease, when they want to cure that disease, they have to stress back to the root, and the root, they will ask you a question. Even in the hospital, doctor will ask you a question: did anybody in your family ever witness this kind of illness? Maybe you have headache. Did your mother, your father, or your grandfather, or your grandmother to know?
We cannot put that on the football. Yes, because
we are talking, I'm relating it to football now, because it's like a disease that always exists in the football of Cameroon, because we have the same thing.
Not
we
just
have
Cameroon.
This same issue with Cameroon, with Samuel Eto'o and Achille Mana. We have this same problem with Samuel Eto'o and Achille Mana. It was the same thing. They were playing in the field, but they have grievances, and you will see the same thing. The same problem we face now, that was the same thing that happened with Samuel Eto'o and Achille Mana, and that's how we're losing matches.
It is not a problem, to be in competition. It is about, when that competition, it is insane or sane. I'm not sure about the correct word.
And now you see the thing is always coming between one captain and one player. You see, that is why you see Song Bahana he has been the best, I think, the best between 2000 upward, he has been the best captain because he was the person who have the team in heart. It's like he's like the team was his own.
Okay.
Now, when Samuel Eto'o came as the captain of the national team, he becomes so authoritative. He becomes so imposed. Let him. It should be him. And no, a team. Yeah, you are the captain. The captain means what? You have to bring us together.
Leader, yes.
You have to talk on our behalf. But if you are the captain, you are doing divide and rule. You have the people who answer yes to you, and some people you don't want to answer to them. Now you split up the team. And now even in the field, maybe yes, because in the field, Toko Ekambi will also have his own friends, his colleagues, he speaks with.
You brought up here Samuel Eto'o. You know, we know about this thing that he was kind of an authoritarian person. I mean, if that is his character, that means that he also now the president of the Cameroonian Football Association. I mean, if he bring his authoritarian there, then there will be a problems as well there. Now we don't know. You know, we're talking about the football, what is happening on the pitch, and the captain Vincent Abubakar, who is not happy, and he decided to say it publicly in the face of the world. Now we have to see. We're waiting to see what will happen, what the president of the FECAFOOT will say.
I didn't even know that this Vincent Abubakar was the captain, to be fair. And then this is how
because you're not following. Yes,
very much disconnected to you know all of these things. So, and if he's the captain, then that changes the data actually.
How?
In the sense that he has the responsibility of uniting everyone. Obviously, as a captain, as an individual, he might face people not agreeing with him all the time. It is very possible, and it is even very likely. I mean, the opposite would really surprise me, you know. So now the thing would be, how does he handle disagreements?
That's why I want to plead, Lauren, again.
But also, as a captain, would you just go and throw your players under the bus?
I want to plead the education of Vincent Abubakar. How many training did he get on the communication? You know, did he get even any? How many times is he given the opportunity to speak up? How many times the Cameroonians in the past years have played together? I mean, how many times Abubakar, or maybe it's only just his character, and he decides when he's not happy to say it out loud there, and then that's the way I am. You take it or leave it. For personally, it's also a way of dealing with things, and I even think that in Cameroon, that should be the way to deal with things, for things to change, because there are so many hidden things. People are suffering people are suffering because of this spirit of hiding horrible things. Let's just put them out there.
Yes, but do you think before you put them out, because problems in the house, before it goes out, it must be trashed first in the house. When it is out of hand, then you can put it in the public. He, as the captain, are we sure? Because in his statement, he didn't make any statement as if I have tried to bring this problem, but it is not stopped. We only know one part of the story, which he puts out there. Now, what I'm coming is as the captain, because I believe they have somebody who is more ahead of them, like who is the president of FECAFOOT, Samuel Eto'o, who was always there to guide them.
Now they will sit. Now there's the opportunity to sit and talk about this.
Now they are sitting now.
Yes.
It is never too late, but it is already late.
No, it's
because
not
had
late.
it been maybe they sat before we had that semi-final, they could have talked on this and bring back the team spirit.
Maybe they did. We don't know. We will find out later.
If they did, it could have been there, because from the response from the opponent, from what he said, because when you want to say something as somebody who is transparent, you say it detailedly. This is what is happening in the house, and this is what I have tried to do this, and it's not happening.
For the moment, yes.
Yes, if it is me, this is how I'm going to put it. The problem, we have a quality team. We didn't make it because we were selfish within ourselves, and this is the problem. I talked to them, let us try to amend this thing, and we have seen the consequences of not making solutions to problems.
What I'm seeing here,
and
Thomas,
when you give one side of a story.
No, it's not one side. It is his opinion now. We heard also Ekambi's Toko Ekambi's opinion. I also read a tweet by Shippo Moting, and you know, those are the young players who want to come back and play with Cameroon. You know, they don't want to be blacklisted, so they will just, you know, bow their head and say, we disagree with Vincent Abubakar. Where the public opinion will bend, if the public opinion is against the Vincent Abubakar statement, they will bow to that opinion as well. They don't want to
But
lose the opportunity to coming back to play with Cameroon.
But for the opinion to be accurate enough, all the facts needs to be out there. You
The
cannot
thing is
just you cannot just choose what facts to expose and what to hide.
Yeah, my problem is how true is what he is saying.
Yes, now they need to be seated, all of them, and then discuss what's happened, and made it public
but
as well.
I do agree on one point with you, though,
Yes.
that whatever is seen outside, so that interview whatsoever, you know, I mean, the behavior that you have outside, public opinion or whatsoever, is a symptom of what is happening inside. That I must agree with you.
That's why many people actually said
the fact that it was exposed obviously tells us that there is a problem. How is this problem being addressed? Is there even an attempt to address it? You know, it's like, you know, maybe this was just a cry out for help, you know, but again, I think as a captain he could have done it differently.
Okay,
in my opinion. Maybe it's a lack of training or whatsoever, but I think he could have done it differently.
Yeah,
we also have a problem with I think after we lost the match with the penalty. I think the last person who kicks the penalty out of the pitch was Jack Clinton. Jack Clinton lost the penalty, I think, but in the social media it is Jack Clinton, like Jack Clinton is the traitor who.
Oh, really?
Yes, but it baffles me when I see, and it is everywhere. And when we start to do something like that, we put someone's lives into danger, even the family. Yeah. I don't know if it is true, but I have not do finding about it, but somebody told me his house have been burned because of that same issue. So you see, you provoke situation because you are creating content and you spark in fire there, and it's because there were 3 of them who lost the penalty.
Yes, why?
And he was the last person. Yeah. Why must his own case be different?
I mean, no, it is totally the person who writes sub messages should be arrested because this is a football game after
that all. Is why you will see the problem. Like I'm taking it like to Kamba, because even in the team you still see like the political atmosphere. What is happening, the crisis, what is happening in Cameroon is happening right in the team, because you try to see the English players in the team, they feel inferior inside the team, like they don't have that power.
I see. Oh, but
Jack Clinton is from Bamenda. It's from, I think, and I think they are Etoko Ikambi. I think with this other guy, Fai Collins.
Okay, this is the news to me. Actually, I thought that Ndie was Betty, because Ndie it is a Betty name. Okay,
Nji Clinton.
I mean, there are many problems, you know. And again, that is the thing, you know. I mean, Cameroon is living a very difficult moment at a very difficult time. But
usually in Cameroon, the one thing that brings us together is the football.
And I was thinking this is an opportunity, because Cameroonians are lovers of football. If you see our character. I have hatred for the government. I have hatred for what is going on in the country. But
that's a subject for another time, I think.
But when the football comes in, no, I have to. I cannot. Who should I support? I cannot support somebody else while my country is there. I have to present. That love is there, but the problem.
One thing that I even would like to add, I remember I was still like very, very young, but I remember these games. I'm not sure if it was the AFCON or any other kind of game, but I remember at least of 2 instances where Cameroon played against Nigeria in the end of the 1990s, okay, and everybody was so in Cameroon, obviously, was so behind the Cameroonian team that, I mean, even the president had decided that if Cameroon wins, then tomorrow would be a public holiday. This is how much, you know, it's like bringing everybody together, like the entire country is behind you guys. And I mean, I remember at least of 2 instances like this where he said if Cameroon wins.
Even during these instances, the school stopped at 2 p.m. for people to be able to go to.
But he said the entire day would be public holiday. The guy declared, you know, I mean, I'm not sure it's very constitutional,
I was hoping because I saw you saw love, you saw people, you saw traditional dance group that were coming. The love came in again. I think they could seize the opportunity of this football love and bring an atmosphere of peace. But they didn't work because I was trying to, even before the AFCON, people were like even presuming to see what Didier Drogba did to Ivory Coast, like it could be something that could be done also in Cameroon. Sees that opportunity.
Let me say something that I read, because I follow an analyst who said that what's happening in Cameroon in this football, everybody hope, but we know that it has been kind of political manipulated. Samuel Eto'o advised the people who asked him for his opinion. No one's know. He advised people to vote for the incumbent president before the previous election. That was a tryout. Now, who are you to tell us who to vote? So he took sides. Now, then we all know that the guy is Spanish. Double nationality is not accepted in Cameroon. For whatever reason, he passed because of, I read about something that is possible, whatever. I don't know how many Cameroonians can have that pass. So he is now a Spanish guy is now the president of the Cameroonian Football Association. During the opening match, the president of Cameroon was there, and then you hear the songs. That song that we are toujours Shoga in an opening of AFCON where the entire world is watching. Do you imagine a opening of the whatever France football event in France where the French people sing Macron, toujours Shoga? It is such a nonsense. Things that they will not happen anywhere in the world. Is it a president? So this is the president of the FECAFOOT. We are worshiping a man, but this is a football, a continental thing. It's not a man who gave it to the people. So that's why we're saying that it is so manipulated, and then the president of the FECAFOOT, which a Spanish guy, is just working together.
I would like just to add. So he did not. I don't think he kind of advised people to vote for that emperor or whatsoever king that is seated on Cameroon.
So what did he do? What did he?
I mean, I think when he did it, he was not yet the president of the FECAFOOT.
No, he wasn't, but he was.
So he was more like acting like an influencer, I would say.
He knew what he wanted.
He was paving his way.
He was paving his way. Excuse me. Yes, he was paving
his
way in.
When you don't belong,
you don't have anything.
He was looking for a means to belong.
The guy has a Spanish passport.
But he was using his influence. He was using his influence.
He's paving his way. He was paving.
But that's what I'm saying. He was using his influence basically to pave his way. Yes, we can agree on that, But my point here is I just don't understand how it is okay for people just to worship a man, especially during an international event. It's and what man, please, because I am really curious to see the results of that emperor that is seated over there. I'm really curious to see the results of his mandate or his tenancy as a president or whatever. It's
even if you have results. The analyst actually took the example of Angela Merkel, who is known as one of the best leaders in Europe. Will you hear a song in a stadium about an international football match where they say Angela Merkel, toujours belle femme, or whatever, all those songs that they create out of nowhere? You don't hear them. And then, these are the people who usually want to compare. Even in Germany, you do that. Even in there, you do that. Do you hear those songs?
No, obviously not. I mean, and it's not professional.
You see, this... it's going very broad now. We just need
let's close it. Let's stay on the football. Yeah, we need
bring
to bring
another topic.
But
going now because
but it was the opening song of the event.
I'm happy because Angela Merkel. This is like where he's ruling. He's like a kingdom. That's why it's the destabilization of African system of ruling. I say if we want to continue, it's going to be more broader than. We just end it to.
Yes, we also
and you
wanted
see the
to
nice
give
way
your voice,
she ruled because, and that is the system. That's why you see the English has a very nice structured system because that's the African system of ruling that kingdom because everything is being structured. But that notwithstanding, maybe we have some other time. So
yes, we will let's discuss another time, because we wanted also to give our little voice into the football tournament which is happening at the moment in Cameroon. Very much interesting. Africans are footballers in their hearts. Mothers, children, girls, boys, everybody.
Even the animals probably. The animals probably and the insects.
So we don't need to. We are all specialists in football. So okay, bear with us today. We hope that you enjoy a little bit what we had to say, and we are all also actually professionals in the expert in football because we grew up with that. We know the rules, so we know everything, so we can speak with authority when it comes to football. Don't forget about that. So thank you, Thomas, Lorraine, and well, okay, follow us on social media as usual. We hope that you enjoyed what you heard today.